I will never buy cinema popcorn again unless cinemas do the following things. So, number one, packaged popcorn. I feel like cinemas need to start branding their own type of popcorn that they sell within the cinema. And the reason for that is because when you go to the cinema and you see the popcorn in that like glass cage thing, you don't know how long it's been sitting there. And the last time I went to the cinema, the popcorn was kind of stale. And that's just so frustrating, especially because of the price that you pay and the profit that these cinemas must make. Because popcorn is not expensive to make, it's very cheap. So God knows what their profit margins must be. So to get stale popcorn on top of the price that you're paying for it is just like abysmal. So I think if cinemas were to package their own popcorn, brand it, they could even charge more, because I obviously understand that to package and brand things is an extra cost. But the fact that they charge as much as they do, even if they added an additional charge, I would still be inclined to buy packaged popcorn, because then I'll know it won't be a stale. Because when I buy packaged popcorn in the supermarket, I like the taste of it. Number two, do-it-yourself popcorn. I know for me, myself, I'm always complaining about food that I'm getting at restaurants or food that I buy. Like, it's just not hitting compared to when I make things myself. So I think if cinemas could implement a DIY option where they have their own popcorn machines and you can make it yourself, you can make it fresh and warm, you can add your own toppings and things like that, whether that's sugar, salt, toffee, caramel, all these different types of toppings, chocolates if you want to add sweets, whatever you want. I think that would be a really cool option. And again, because of the service that the cinema would provide, they could charge an extra premium, more than what they would charge when you're just buying your standard plain sweet or salty popcorn. But I feel like that option they really need to consider. Like, I would pay good money for that if I know I'm gonna get fresh, warm popcorn that I can make to my own kind of tasting. Because again, when I went to the cinema last, I got sweet and salty, and the flavors weren't really giving how I wanted it to give, you know? And then my third option, if the other two options that I mentioned aren't feasible, I feel like this option is the most likely that could be implemented as soon as possible and wouldn't really be that much of a hindrance to cinemas. And that would be sachets. So, you know, like obviously if you go to a fast food restaurant, or even if you're in a sit down restaurant, you'll have like salt and pepper sachets, or you have like the salt and pepper shakers. I think if cinemas could implement sachets that they give out, then you can have more control of how your popcorn is going to taste. Like I said, when I went to the cinema last and I got sweet and salty popcorn, I wanted more sweetness, like more sugar. So imagine if they had sugar sachets and they gave me like an extra popcorn box, and I could like tip half of the popcorn into the empty box, put my sugar sachet in the box, shake it around, put more popcorn in, and just make it to my taste. I feel like that would be brilliant. And again, if cinemas wanted to, I mean, I don't really feel like they should charge an extra cost, because obviously when you go to a restaurant, they give you like salt and sugar sachets for free, or salt and pepper sachets for free. So I feel like cinemas could add that as an extra benefit, or they could add a charge. I would actually pay for like salt and sugar sachets to get that desired taste that I want. But I was looking on TikTok like a few weeks ago, and I do know some cinemas like in other countries, they have the options like where you can have like popcorn machines, you know, you can put how much you want, you can add your toppings and things like that. But I personally haven't seen that in the UK. So what are your thoughts on those options? Do you think cinemas could implement those things, or do you have any ideas of your own? Or if your cinema, wherever you live, has those options that I mentioned, like what's your experience of that? I would love to know. Because yeah, I think sometimes it's, especially like cinemas who have strict rules about food that you can bring or can't bring in, I feel like if you're gonna have strict rules about that, then you need to make sure that your homemade popcorn or whatever you're offering is like 10/10, especially with the prices that you're charging in this cost of living crisis. Like, consumers are waking up. Like, we know how we can make good things at home, so we're not gonna be paying crazy amounts of things for food. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the points that I mentioned. It'd be great to have a discussion in the comments.